First off, Dylan, how do you feel and how tough was it for you to play through today's game with what you're going through with your hand?
There's a lot of guys battling through right now. With the last weeks and illness, whatever it may be, broken bones. It's the way it's going right now for us, and everyone's dealing with something, but it's okay, I guess. Yeah.
Obviously, penalties had a big part in today's game. How much did they throw you guys off rhythm?
I think it went both ways. We had chances on the power play. We give up a shorty there late, and it kind of shoots us in the foot. And we're pressing for the goal there, and we give one up. It's on the 5 guys on the ice. It's not the way to go out and get the momentum back and get the goal we need.
Hey, Dylan, what are you seeing from the PK? I think you've allowed now 6 power play goals in the last 4 games. Just what's been the difference here from earlier in the season?
Well, I think teams are starting to really get a sense of what works against us, and we're having trouble with the, we call them sifters from the top, the pucks just being floated in and creating chaos, and then, the chaos kind of gets us out of our structure, and when that's happening right now, we got to find a way to take a deep breath and, kind of sort it out quicker than we are. We're letting one thing happen, and then we kind of get, off our routes, and then a lot of things open up for the power play. So it starts with winning faceoffs and clearing 200 feet. That didn't happen tonight, but we have to really just stick to our routes and be predictable so the other 3 guys on the ice know what you're doing.
Dylan, when things were going well earlier in the season, what did you see that was the difference then compared to now?
Well, I think early in the year we were getting the big save at the right time, the big kill, the big goal. Right now I think it's not happening for us, and we have to find a way to get that back. And whether it's someone scoring a big goal or a big hit or a big fight that changes the game, whatever it may be, whatever you bring to the lineup, we need to have more of that. And our goaltending has been good all year. Our team play has been good. Our penalty kill has been good for the most part. We just have to find a way to get it back. And I think it really starts with just a solid 60-minute effort against Washington, and just maybe a 2-1, a 1-0 game where we get 2 points, and then we get that good feeling back.
Is it also just a matter of, January, February was kind of when things started to go downhill last season, that this is when the opportunity to prove how far you've come this season is to not let things go downhill again?
Yeah, it is. It's been very difficult with all the injuries, but it seems we're getting some guys back, and I think this month is tough. We're on the road a lot and some tough places to play, but we had a good trip. We come off that trip. We haven't really played our game yet, and we're going back on the road to Washington. We got three games before Christmas, 3 or 4 games, so we gotta really go into Christmas feeling good about our game.
How did you see, or how do you feel like Ottawa was just able to take over the special teams battle here?
Yeah, I don't know if it's so much them taking the special teams, just execution on our part. PK, it's really disappointing in that 2 of the 3 goals literally from our stick to their stick, broken plays back of the net. There's not a lot of structure to that. It's just poor execution, not getting the clear. And then, power play. Obviously, a big part. 5-1 special teams. It's unfortunate. It's a really tough game to judge, even your 5-on-5 play, because there's very little of it. But when you're involved with 5 goals against in the special teams, you'll have 0 chance. So at least it's a exact on what to remedy, in that it's special teams, and don't get a lot of practice time this time of year. And fortunately, we get a day tomorrow, and we'll spend some time on the special teams. Yeah, and obviously, I think those numbers, I think they got really big early on. I don't think as the game went on, for me, it felt like it wasn't as much of an issue. So, yeah, obviously, that's a little bit of a reality of it.
Derek, obviously penalties a big issue. Are those offensive zone penalties, especially in the third period?
No, I mean, we the problem is when you take a couple undisciplined penalties, then you add in an unlucky penalty, maybe in just the reality of a penalty. Now you're into that 4, 5, 6 range. We had 7 tonight, so it starts just with some discipline, and I think that limits it. I mean, we got ourselves in the hole the other day with 2 bad penalties in the first period. So obviously tonight was all special teams. It was the reason for the loss. The one quick remedy for special teams is being much more disciplined as a team.
Is one of the keys to that just moving your feet more?
We took an interference penalty, off the puck on an entry. Things like that are just those just wear on you. And then when in that penalty, we get a 5-on-3, and then it's just obviously we do a good job of killing it. Puck's on our stick, ends up on their stick and back of the net.
Derek, it was around this time last year, I know you weren't here, but that this team kind of started to go downhill after a good start. How important is it now to show growth, to not, games are going to start getting harder?
Yeah. Well, I think the one, and I wasn't here last year, but I think the one difference, hopefully, is our 5-on-5 play has been pretty darn good. Even with the previous 4 losses, you take out the Florida game, our 5-on-5 play was excellent in some areas. So some things to go back on, some things to build on, but again, special teams. I mean, it's tough to ask a broad question over 5 games when our special teams were so bad tonight, and it was the difference in the game, the alarming difference in the game. I mean, we're sitting here 3-3 in the third. They get a penalty, they score. We get a penalty, they score on us, and the game's over. It's just a little disappointing.
Is that the puck management you've talked about all season too? That, limiting risk and all that?
Yeah, again, it's hard to define on the penalty kill. Literally, it's 2 panic clears. I don't know what we were doing. Puck's literally on our stick, and we hand it to them. Not only hand it to the other team, we hand it to them in a scoring area. And then it turns into broken plays. They're obviously tough to defend. I mean that you could call that puck management, but that's just bearing down some urgency in your game. Then the power play, it's been heading down this path for a little bit. So I think an opportunity to work on it tomorrow, probably get some different looks, maybe revamp it. Again, we'll talk as a staff here today and obviously tomorrow, and see where solutions are going to be in the power play.
Derek, Dylan's obviously playing through something. How did you think he did?
Fine. But he obviously was not himself. There's probably some battles, and we had a few like that. But again, for the most part, good. And I think we feel very fortunate. This is a completely different scenario than the last game where we literally had 6 players out. We got really fortunate and some good news and some players back. Now we just got to get some rhythm. This is our lineup. Let's get our game in order. We'll start with special teams tomorrow. Get an opportunity at Washington on Monday.
Well, I know finding the back of the net in his 100th career game. Can you just talk about what he's brought down the middle for your team?
Some depth. When he's going, he's skating, he's physical. He does some good things. That I would say, consistent. He's had Bergman with him. He's had Zarnik with him. Tonight he had a different look. Soderblom with him, and even Kubalik, and still did some good things. So I think that's a good sign when a player, you see that with Dylan a little bit, no matter who he has with him. producing some offense. So good sign going forward.
Dylan mentioned that the execution in big moments just doesn't seem to be there lately. Is that confidence, do you think?
Maybe, but again, it's execution. But most tonight we're special teams, so that's yeah. So could be some of that. And again, we're playing okay. It's not great, but we're 3-3 at home, and we had some pushes going. So we this was a winnable, manageable game that we didn't take advantage of.